course. Well, welcome to the NBA pod. Welcome to this side, the brighter side, right? The grass is always greener on the other side, for sure, right?
Where amazing happens.
And where amazing happens. Thank you. No, to start us off, though, I was looking over there in Sacramento, California, and I was shopping around for some houses, and I ran into Russ. And of course, he had to brag to me. He said, hey, on my team, I'm the leader in points, rebounds, and assists. I belong on a contender. What do you think about the Brody, possibly jumping ship now that he's, leading in all three major categories, by the way? Do you think he
hmm
belongs on a contender or staying in Sacramento?
Yeah. So did he just start leading the team in points? Because he was second for a while, wasn't he? And
Uh,
now is he the leader, or is
he's
he still second?
no, he was the leader as of maybe 5 days ago, 4 days ago.
Okay, so yeah, pretty new.
Mm.
Man, it's just a testament to a guy who's taken a lot of criticism over the years. I mean, I know places haven't worked out for him, like L.A. and Denver and a couple other spots, but it just goes to show that, I mean, like, this dude, I mean, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the best point guards ever to play. For me, he's like a top five point guard, and I mean, if people want to argue that, that's fine, but what he's been able to do, I mean, people were saying like, hey, Oscar Robinson's triple double record's never going to be
Untouchable.
broken. It's untouchable. And I mean, he went and destroyed it. So, but to answer your question though, the real question, does Brody belong on a contender? Yeah, I mean, he's one of the NBA elites. He like greats, and so you always want to see those guys at least go get one and try to be on a contender. So yeah, he definitely belongs on a contender. Now where? I mean, that's anyone's guess. That's anyone's answer. Where do you think like he could land?
Russ, I mean, he's well needed in a lot of places, honestly. The Nuggets, they're definitely missing his presence. With Nikola Jokic going out, I know they found a little uh bright spot, you could say, in Peyton Watson, who's looking very nice for
hmm
them. But
Who's that guy? Sorry to interrupt. Who's that guy with the weird jump shot on the Denver? He like shoots from the side.
oh
Like,
yes, yes, I think I
man, that boy can shoot, bro.
did I send him to you?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I forget his
I forgot
name.
his name. No, yeah, I forgot his name. He's shooting 40% though. But
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of teams in my opinion, especially in the East, that could use him. I know, especially with Jalen Brown having in this incredible season, a guy like him would be perfect for a sub for Anthony Simons, right?
Oh.
Anthony Simons, while he has been doing okay offensively, he's a defensive
hmm
liability, and if his shot's not on,
hmm
he's out the game, right? And so they already have Peyton Pritchard, and so Russ could do a lot for that team. Not only can you bring him in for a short spurt of 20 minutes a game, but he's willing to do whatever to win right now. You know, he
Yeah.
understands that his window is closing for a championship. And so he doesn't want to stick around just for giggles, right? No, he wants
How old is
meaning.
he? Is he 38 now? 37?
37, I believe. 37 to
Okay.
30. Yeah, no, he's 37.
Yeah, that window's closing.
The window's closing, right? And so he needs to
Yeah.
be on a team that definitely can use him. Toronto could use him, right? They're using
Ooh.
Emmanuel quickly right now as a starting point guard, who I'm not criticizing like, oh, he's unworthy of that. No. But a
hmm
guy like Russ can get a Brandon Ingram from 20 points a game to 25. We saw it with Paul George's MVP numbers. He can take a guy like Scotty Barnes, take him from 19.9 to 27. We saw that with
Easy.
KD, right? I mean,
Easy.
he made Steven Adams have a reputable name. He's a household name now. Steven Adams is well known, right? So we see the things that he can do and how he can bring the best out of other players. And if a team really wants to make a move, I'm definitely sending Russ.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on
Good
another
point.
note,
Those teams.
no,
Good
go
idea.
ahead.
Good idea. I was just gonna say those are a good list of teams, and
Yeah,
then I was gonna. What about the Pistons? You think like they could use a veteran presence, or do you think they're playing good ball? They don't want to disrupt anything.
I will get to the Pistons, but it'll be
Okay.
later on. It'll be later on. But
Okay.
I
Yeah.
definitely
No
love
good.
that team. The
All
Pistons
right.
are a fun team to watch.
They
But
are. Go
uh,
ahead.
I don't know if you saw this earlier, but this would have been yesterday. It says Joel Embiid is unsure why he's no longer called the process during player introductions. Says he wasn't told about the change. He said, "I'm surprised. I am the process." What do you make of those comments?
I mean, at some point though, brother, like you know what I mean, like if it was 3 years into the like this process quote and stuff like that, I could see it, and he's still at the top of his game, and he's playing really good ball right now. Like I know we talked about him a couple of pods ago, and he's playing better ball since then. But I mean, I guess it's a little disrespectful, I guess you could say, for behind your back that they didn't let you know this because you have been the vocal point of the 76ers. You have brought them to relevancy the last 10 years. But I mean, at some point, it didn't work. You know what I mean? The process, the whole thing, it didn't work. And they have these young guys that are in there now, and now they're the process. You know what I mean? Those guys are the process now. You are no longer the process. So I get how he was surprised, and I just don't get why he says I'm the process because you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Bone. Like,
Yeah.
but I could see how he took it a little offensive, of course, because you've been there for so long that you deserve that respect to at least be like told, like, hey, we're gonna change your intro
Right.
and run it, get it run by him first.
Right.
But no, you're not the process anymore. I'm not saying he's a bad player
No.
because he's playing good ball. He's playing really good ball.
Yeah.
And he looks like he has a little bit of lift back.
Yeah.
Um,
So, Mark, I
and
just want to make sure I get this clear. So you're saying he's not the process anymore. He's the Old Testament.
I mean, wouldn't you agree though that VJ and Maxi are now the
Hey,
process?
listen, Mark, this is all you. I'm going to let you do your thing, man. I'm going to follow up after you.
I would say that he's no longer the process.
Yeah.
I would say that those two young guys are the process, and maybe have a change of heart, like be okay with like them being the process. But at the same time, like I said, I do get how it was a little backstabby and like, why didn't you run it by me first? Like I didn't earn the credit enough to like at least be no, like told I'm not gonna have this intro. So I get that, but I don't think he's the process anymore.
Yeah. I don't think he is the process anymore to Philly, and I think this is a clear sign. Joel Embiid, if you do one thing in life that involves me, just listen. Leave. Do not pull a Giannis where it's like, hey, make the team the villain, not me. It doesn't matter. They're clearly already doing it, and they're only going to hurt you. Because remember, it's business, right? And so if they're already willing to do these sneaky little things behind your back, that's a sign, right? And if anything,
Yeah.
I'm going over to Giannis, who needs a partner, who needs a Batman Robin type of guy, and I'm going to play with him. Because guess
Yeah.
what? Giannis pairs well with a big man that can stretch the floor. Not only can Joel stretch the floor, he can also bang down low with the best of them. If you were on a fast
Hmm.
break and you saw Joel Embiid and Giannis right next to you, Mark, I promise you, I'm about to pull a Jason Terry and go like this, right? I'm not playing around, man. I'm telling you right now, they need a guy like Joel Embiid down there in Milwaukee. But I'll get to that later.
Up there in Milwaukee, but you
Or
know, I
yeah,
see what you're
yeah,
saying.
up there in Milwaukee. As far as Joel Embiid, this is the sign. Take it. Don't wait for the opportunity because
Yeah,
you
100%.
will get burnt and who knows how ugly it can get. But one thing for
Yeah.
sure, do
Mm.
not make the league wait on this move. Make it
Yeah. If
clear,
they're
make it
if
vocal. You don't have to create a big dialogue about it. Just request the trade and
yeah,
watch your joy come back. You saw it with one of your friends
100%.
in Jimmy Butler and watch what happened to him. He got his joy back. You could do the same.
Hmm.
The process can come back and you will change narratives. You belong in a big market. Not to say that Philly's not. Phillies fans, some of the best fans you can get in our nation, right?
Oh, 100%.
But you belong on big time television because you're that big time.
Yeah, no, I mean, if they're willing to do it to players like Kevin Durant, and like in Phoenix and some other spots, or like Klay Thompson, like, I mean, that man won 4 chips. They weren't
Thank you,
eager
Mark.
to get him gone. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank
if
you,
they're willing
Mark.
to do it to players like that, I mean, even LeBron in some instances. Like, I remember Dan Gilbert was talking crap about LeBron and like his first stint in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like, if they're willing to do it to players like that, they're gonna do it to you, Joel. And it doesn't matter how much you put into an organization. Just you jump, know when to jump ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just know when,
Yeah.
and that's all that needs to happen.
No, absolutely. Well, I brought up his friend earlier, who's my favorite player. I'm sure you heard about the news with Jimmy Butler getting injured. Is this it for Golden State and Steph Curry's window for a championship, or do they still try to make some moves to try to go for it?
I mean, as far as this year, Golden State's not winning the championship. I think we can all say that and agree with that. But next season, I could definitely see a scenario where, Draymond's not there, maybe Jimmy's not there, but they go get a Giannis and a LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's been floating around, and imagine that. I know LeBron's gonna be 42, but I mean, he's still playing like a starter in this league. So I think it's been a short window for Jimmy in Golden State, so it's kind of hard to say whether the window's closed or not. But I mean, I think Golden State wouldn't hesitate to trade Jimmy if they were to go get a Giannis. You know what I mean? So, it just sucks because I mean I'm a Jimmy fan because you're such a big Jimmy fan,
Hmm.
and I've always rooted for Jimmy because I've always thought that, he's one of the hardest playing players in the league. Pause. But he,
I'm
but like
sorry.
like Russ, those type of guys. Like I mean, you go back to that 2020
Passion.
finals. Yeah, I mean, you go back to that 2020 finals, Heat versus. I mean, Jimmy was out there giving it all, man. Like, I don't think they had any business going to the finals,
Yeah.
like twice.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But it was because of Jimmy, and so that's why I'm just a big fan of his. And it just sucks to see him go out like that. Um, but I would say that yeah, I think the Jimmy window might be done because next year you would imagine Giannis is moving on, and you would imagine that Golden State would be at the top of the line to go get a Giannis.
Hmm. No, for me, I would say is Golden State's window closed? It depends. February 5th is when we'll find out officially if the window is closed. Because I don't believe
Mm-hmm.
this is a next season fix, right? Next season
Mm-hmm.
fix will come with next season problems.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
guess you're right. It's not even the trade deadline,
yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, you don't have time. Steph isn't guaranteed to have this LeBron-like career, right? Where it's extended, or Michael Jordan, where you can play to your 40. It's not guaranteed. And if you notice, Steph Curry just moved up in the all-time scoring rank. Mark, guess where he ranks?
Yeah, he's not even top 10.
No, he's
Or he's like
20th.
he's
But
like he's 20th?
yes, but do you know why? Because
Yeah, cuz
go ahead.
I mean he's missed a bunch of games, right? Like
Exactly.
he
Starting from his
yeah.
rookie year, and it's not to critique Steph or Steph's a bad player. Obviously, he's a bona fide Hall of Famer.
Injuries happen.
But that's the problem, right? And so if you have Steph's injury, who was injured last year during the playoffs, right? You don't have time. You don't.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of accept, hey, listen, we're going to watch Steph Curry. Steph Curry might have to do a farewell tour, right? That's if. That's if they don't do anything on this trade deadline. And this is the
Mm-hmm.
bonus, right? This is what should happen. They have Jonathan Kaminga. He is making
Who's trying to
$20
get out of there.
million. You have Buddy
Yeah.
Hield making 11, and you have Draymond Green. You've got to make a move. You got to pull the
You
trigger.
got to.
You have, if you want to maximize, you have to
Mm-hmm.
give up something, and you won't be able to
Which is
maximize
crazy to me
everything
'cause
if you don't give it up, right?
which is crazy to me because they were so like eager, not eager, but like they were so willing to get off Clay that like why are you still like
Holding on to
why
Draymond.
now are you playing scared ball? Like I mean, you know what I mean? So that yeah, I see
Draymond's
what
a
you're
big
saying.
guy. He's got a big voice, and he's around everything, and he's probably got an ear in everybody's door, right? I mean,
Yeah,
nobody's
that
door is
orange
closed fully in Draymond's
that
eyes.
yeah, but that orange is getting harder and harder to squeeze.
No,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Like,
I'm on the same page with you. And at the end of the
yeah,
day, Mike Dunleavy needs to put his foot down. I know he made those remarks about Kaminga, like, hey, if you want to demand a trade, there's got to be a
you
demand.
gotta demand it.
Yeah. No, no,
What
no.
are you
I,
talking
I
about?
get it, right? But at the same time, though, I guarantee if I call 32 teams, right, or 31, right, 31 teams, I guarantee
Hmm.
you 29 of them, bare minimum, are like, hey, well, what would you want, right?
Yeah,
Because the talent is there. I mean, the man played 20 minutes and dropped 20 points.
yeah.
Who doesn't
No,
want
he
that
can
on
play
your
ball.
team?
Yeah,
So
and yeah, him and Steve Kerr aren't gonna ever see eye to eye. So just why are you
yeah,
wasting potential of making your team better?
and
I
if
don't get
that's the
that.
case, if that's the case where it's like, hey, you know what, we want Steve Kerr doesn't want to do this long term. It's Steph Curry area, and then Steve Kerr's gone. Then make it happen, right? Because
Yeah.
I promise you, Steph is worth everyone's dollar that they're paying for to watch him. And if you guys are gonna, bull jive us and fill us up with this nonsense, get rid of it, blow it up,
100%.
you know.
Yeah, I'm
But
right there with you, bro.
hey, but the team you brought up earlier, we are talking about them now. Come on, Mark. Detroit leads the East and are one game behind the OKC Thunder. Are we overlooking the city of Detroit?
Crazy. Yes. Yes. I mean, we saw it last year, right? Um, they were what? They went to Game 7 with the Knicks, and I mean the Knicks are really good too. And but yeah, I mean, I think people are overlooking Detroit because everyone's been so accustomed to Detroit being bottom of the barrel for so long, and at some point teams make jumps and teams get better, and they got a bunch of young talent. They play defense. Cade's a dog. Um, the Thompson Bros. I know one of them's in Detroit. I know he
Assert.
doesn't get a bunch of numbers, but he plays hard. He plays physical. But yeah, they just have something going for him right now, and that's why I asked, like, would Russ be a good fit, or would you leave it alone because they're playing good ball right now and they don't really need a Russ? But yeah, I think people are definitely overlooking Detroit. And when I say that, I mean like people don't talk about them enough.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So if that is a category that fits into like, do people overlook Detroit? Yeah, they don't get talked about enough.
Yeah. No, I definitely say would piggyback off that, right? Detroit as a
Hmm.
city and as a team, they don't get the spotlight, right? But
No.
I think it's because they're still getting this culture of what Detroit was, which was that Motor City, right? It's that gritty and grimy city. I grew up
Yeah.
watching the Pistons when they had Rodney Snucky, and then they move up, and then they get Brandon Wright or Brandon Knight, who R.I.P. him, DeAndre Jordan. Everybody knows that. And then you have, the Drummond situation where it's Drummond by himself and everybody thinks he's going to be the next big thing. They bring in Blake
Hmm.
Griffin. So I've seen the different phases of Detroit basketball. And this one is probably the most fun to watch. And, as far as this modern game that we see nowadays, high scoring, this is the most fun Detroit fans have had in, in their stadium.
In 22
No, I mean,
years,
no,
22
no, no.
years,
I'd probably say in the
even
last.
04, they were fun to watch.
Well,
And I
yeah,
know
I
we
mean,
were
but
like we
Blake
were
Griffin,
youngins,
Blake
but
Griffin on a bum knee took him to the playoffs and made it competitive against Giannis. I
oh
mean, he
yeah, yeah,
made
yeah.
Giannis look like a little boy. If you go watch that tape,
Hmm.
whew, Giannis didn't want to smoke. Remember, BG was big and still is. BG is
Oh,
no
BG
punk.
could play. If BG was on the court, he was
Oh
playing.
yeah, he was playing for sure. So, as far as the city goes, Cade is an all-time talent in my opinion. You have what's Duran, you have a Sewer, so you have nice pieces. I do think they need a little bit more to really be contenders. So I think even around the NBA, they are getting a little overlooked because they're not the Thunder who won it. And so when you look at a
Yeah.
young team, you're like, oh, it's just because these guys can run all day long during the regular season. Come playoff time, can
Hmm.
they slow it down? And I thought we saw a little glimpse of that. But since New York is also a team that people laugh at and they lost to them, that's why they are getting overlooked when it comes to others, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be one of those things where we'll have to wait and see. But another team that I'm very, very surprised on is the Cavaliers were the first seed last year and fell to 27-20, which is the fifth seed in the East this year. Should they be
Yeah.
shoppers before the trade deadline?
Yeah. I mean, that's even a shock that they're fifth. Like, it feels like they could be a lot lower than that. I think the Garland injury really kind of messed up their, beginning of season chemistry. And now it just looks like they're maybe trying to fit him back in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't get how they were so good to now just so mediocre. Um, but what was the last part of that question?
Should they be shoppers before the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt because you gotta try something. And I think we were talking about the Cavs maybe our first pod, that like you gotta try to do something because you can't just go from how good you were last year to mediocre now.
Right.
I know there's still a lot of season left, but I mean, I think it's always good for. I think always like half of the league should be looking to make a move at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Besides those teams that are at the top, they're in rhythm, don't really want to disrupt the chemistry, the rhythm of the team. So yeah, I think the Cavs do need to look somewhere. Um, because they're like we've been talking about, there's a lot of people right now that are, in trade rumors, discussions, what have you. So I wouldn't see why Cleveland wouldn't try to take a shot. And if they don't, like I said, there is a lot of season left. So there is hope for that, but right now I don't see Cleveland making it out of the first round.
Yeah, it stinks because Cleveland was number one last year, right? And then they
Yeah.
come into this year with practically the same team and they got worse, right? And you can blame it on injuries, but me personally, this is the one team I don't want to hear that about because many teams don't have the opportunity to say, "Oh yeah, we played with each other last year." Most of these times, I mean, you look at the Boston Celtics, right? Number 1 or number
Mm-hmm.
2 in the East,
Yeah.
right? They have a brand new leader and their offense schemes has to change because JB doesn't play the exact same way JT does, right? It's a
Right.
little bit more thought out, right? JB plays the
Mm-hmm.
game like chess, right? It's a little different. JT is more like checkers. And so when you have,
Hmm.
the Cleveland Cavaliers, the continuity should be there. But here's the problem. Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, just isn't that guy. He's not the guy to get you over the hump as the number one. He's the guy to get you over the hump as the number two, right?
Hmm.
And so what they have going for them is they have a lot of great player or good players, right? And they have one almost great player in Donovan Mitchell. But I think they need, like, if LeBron were to request a trade right now and go back to the Cavs, I promise you I'd be rooting for them. And not only rooting, but I think that makes them the favorite because LeBron could be that connector that they desperately need and demand that attention.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could elevate
Oh,
Donovan Mitchell to be that number
and
one. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, imagine LeBron on a fast break, and you got Donovan Mitchell to the left and Evan Mobley to the right. And guess what? Even if something goes wrong, they got Jared Allen in the back. Like, come
Yeah,
on, man.
and I don't know
But
what LeBron's I don't I think this LeBron's last year under contract, right? If I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
or do you not know?
no, it is his
So if
last.
that's the case, they might just be waiting and being like, look, we're going to put all our chips into the table that LeBron is going to retire a Cavalier, and so next year, hey, let's not make a trade this year. Let's just play out the year. Hopefully, we get over the hump. We make it far in the
But
playoffs, and then if that we don't even have to make a trade. We just are praying and hoping that LeBron comes here next year,
yeah,
and then boom.
I
You know
got
what I
you.
mean? So maybe that's the case.
I mean, I see what you're saying. At the same time, though, I'm more about, hey, you don't treat somebody like there's something they're not, right? So,
Yeah.
you're not homeless, so I'm not going to treat you like a homeless person. You're not super rich, I'm not going to treat you like, you know what I mean? Treat them for what they
Mhm.
are, right? And so I think they're treating Donovan Mitchell like a superstar, but he's not. And that's no
Mhm.
knock on him. I just said he
Mhm.
could be a difference maker as a number 2. He's just not the
Mhm.
number 1.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
mean,
their problem.
I think last year he was as close as he could have gotten to superstardom. I think he's a star, no doubt.
Yeah, but he's
Superstar?
not like
No.
a super. Like you're
No.
in the
No. No.
East, okay,
No.
which you have the opportunity as a number 1 seed to at least go to the Eastern Conference Finals, bare minimum. I mean, we saw Derrick Rose, we saw Jimmy Butler, and these are two guys. Actually, let's take Derrick Rose out of it, right? I'm just going after my favorite players. But you look at a guy like Jimmy
Mhm.
Butler, right? Who everybody was like, man, most overrated, most overrated, most over. He made the Eastern Conference Finals. You got to be able to do that. Especially Jimmy Butler never played with a team like Cleveland, where they had Evan
Yeah.
Mobley, they had Jared Allen, they had Darius
Pieces.
Garland. Those are three
Pieces.
bona fide players that if you put them on a team, they're going to be a difference maker on Toronto. They're going to be a difference maker on the
Hmm.
Lakers. They're going to be a difference maker in Phoenix, Rockets. I mean, we can go down the list. And,
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that crazy to say that Donovan Mitchell isn't a superstar. I would give him, I would say he's a star.
he's a star for
But if
sure.
he was a
But
superstar, I mean,
no,
you would be hearing a lot more about him. And I know he had the 70-point game, yada, yada, yada. Last year had a great
that's
year.
cool.
But other than that,
Yeah. I'm in
you know what I
my
mean?
opinion. I mean, they wouldn't. I should have bro. We next week we were talking about Devin Booker because he's in the same category as Devin Booker to me. That's cool. They can score the points. They can idolize other players from the past. But guess what? You are a bona fide number 2, a bona fide number
Yeah.
2, and that's just what it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I might even go as far as say, like, I'd take Devin Booker over Donovan
That's
Mitchell. I
fine.
don't think
But
that's that
to me, you're
crazy to
not
say. I
gaining
think I
anything by
might take
doing that.
Jamal Murray over Donovan
But
Mitchell right
like
now.
to me, they're ooh. Now, hey, you just tweeted that one.
Am I tweaking?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Let
bro.
us
Jamal
know about
Murray.
that one, y'all. I think they're all three in the same class. I think they're all three in the same class.
No, I think
Truthfully.
they're in the same class, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have a problem if someone took, a Jamal Murray over Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker,
Yeah, but
like,
you remember that Spider-Man commercial with or picture where they're all three
where
pointing?
they're all three pointing at each other.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
they
think they're
are,
all.
though.
I
Like
think
it's just like I'm
I
better than
think
you.
they're
Well,
all
it's
on the
not
same.
saying much because you guys aren't moving the bar much. Like you guys are
Yeah,
great secondary
like
options.
people do the S tiers, the A tiers, the B
They're
tiers.
going to be in
I
the
think
same
they're all.
tier.
I think they're all in that same tier,
Yeah,
like B.
I would put
Like,
them B
yeah,
plus. Yeah.
yeah.
But to close this out, I did want to get into this one because I've been seeing Zion's name pop up a lot. Do you think Zion is considered a bust due to how much he's missed, regular season games and playoffs?
Uh, that's a hard question. Before I answer it, I'll just throw some numbers at you. Right now, he's averaging like 40 games a year, so half the season, right?
Oh
And
my!
to put that in perspective, uh, John Morant has played, I forget the actual numbers, but I know it's around 80 more games than Zion has.
Right.
And you've seen what Ja has been through. He's been through all the mishaps off the court, all the injuries, and he still played 80 more games than Zion. RJ Barrett has played, I think, 122 more games than
College
Zion.
teammate, by the
Yeah.
way, competitor.
College teammate DeAndre Hunter has played 160 more
Same
games than
draft class as
Zion.
well, correct?
And then I'd have to look this up because I don't know, but I guarantee you Cam Reddish and Zion Williamson are closer in games played than you would think.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And think
that's
about that. Cam Reddish
in the
is
G
what, in the
League.
G League now,
Mm-hmm.
and has I mean Cam Reddish was supposed to be like a really good
He was
player,
supposed. Oh
and
my gosh, yeah,
I bet you, I don't know the actual numbers,
yeah.
not like those other ones, but I guarantee you Cam Reddish and Zion have played around the most like around the same amount of games. So
Is he a bust?
um, n- no,
Marcus, say it. You gotta
no,
say it.
no. I don't think he's a bust. I just obviously he hasn't lived up to his expectations. I mean, he was supposed to be a perennial All Star like for years to come, and he was supposed to be the next guy up. But it was clear as day he didn't want to go to New Orleans. I think everyone can say that. And so I think like if you're somewhere where you don't want to be, even if you don't choose to, you're not going to give your all. And he clearly didn't take care of himself. They put a clause in his contract, and whenever they do that, Bowen, it's because they don't trust you. They were talking about his body weight, his body fat, this and that. So yeah, I mean, he wasn't taking care of himself. But I wouldn't go to say as far as a bust because we've seen what bust look like. You know what I mean? And like he's not what's his name, Bennett, the first pick in the 2013 draft, Aaron Bennett or what's his name? That we've seen what a bust is. You know what I mean? So he's not a
Oh, you're
bust,
talking about Anthony
but
Bennett.
Anthony Bennett, yeah, there you go. And like I consider Ben Simmons a bust. Do I think you know what I mean? Like Ben Simmons I think was a bust. Like he gave you some good years, but if you can't ever develop a jump shot in the fucking NBA and then just show that you don't care, that to me is a bust. And so for Zion, is he headed that way? You could say that, but right now as we sit here, I think he's still a good enough player to say no, he's not a bust. He needs to play more games. Injuries happen, I get it, but for you to be averaging 40 games a season, Bowen, like what are we doing? Like you got to be in there. But like when he's on the court, he's good. So I guess maybe we'll see what next year bestows, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as to say he's a bust because we've seen what busts look like. But what are your thoughts?
I think if it walks like a buck, a bus, it moves like a bus, it's a bust. Mark, Ben Simmons made the All-Star team 3 times. Zion made it twice. Okay? We keep moving the goalpost what it means to be a bust. Mark, how many times has Zion made the playoff? 0.
Oh, don't do that to him. He's in New Orleans.
It doesn't matter. You could be in New Orleans, you could be on Mars, you could
Oh,
be at my grandma's house. If you don't make the playoffs, you're not you I'm sorry. Mark, he hasn't given us anything. Anything. Like Mark, no crazy game career highs, right? There's no I mean 2 All-Star makings, cool. Taking your team to playoffs. Mark, he doesn't even show up to regular season games. That's a bust.
that's
You're
that's
getting
that's why I
confused.
was saying like
Listen,
it's clear as day he never wanted to go to New Orleans.
yes.
And so when you don't want to go somewhere, even if you don't choose to, you're not going to give it your all.
It
Like if
doesn't
he would have gone to
matter.
New York, Owen, if he would have gone to New York, what do
Okay.
you think would have happened?
He would have been missing games. Did you not see?
Yeah, but
He was taking down the girl with the BBL. Imagine what he's going to take down in New York. You think he's going to be worried about basketball?
you wouldn't agree with me that like he didn't want to go to New Orleans and that maybe put a tamper on his like want to?
No, because why would you sign a max extension then and not request a trade? Mark, it works that way. You can request a trade. That doesn't make any sense, right? I would have you if he would have requested a trade, but he didn't, right? So,
Yeah.
as far as, again, I think you're getting mixed up potential with actual production, right? And so the potential doesn't scream bust because he can show you I can get 20, right? But the actual production is that we only get it every 3 months, right? Or really, if I'm being actual, right? So the fans don't get upset, he probably gets that every week, right? Well, at least once a week. He doesn't play back-to-backs, right? He feels healthy. We just get these glimpses. Right now, he is considered a bust. He hasn't brought anything to the table. He will not be remembered if he were to leave the league today. It would just be like, oh yeah, Zion, like the old heads, we would know about him, right? But the future, he won't be a Michael Jordan, he won't be a LeBron James, he won't be a Kobe. I mean, damn it, he might not even be a KD. He is a bust. He'll be more remembered for.
So
Go
you're
ahead.
gonna go as far as to say that he's more of a bust than Ben Simmons?
Absolutely, Ben Simmons has done more. Ben Simmons has moments we remember. Ben Simmons is a guy that we actually pay attention to outside of basketball right now. Mark,
Maybe if
Mark,
you give
you
Zion
know
an
one of
extra
his
couple of
hobbies.
years,
What is Ben Simmons? What was he just caught doing?
bro, I mean, he completely fell off a cliff.
No, but
And now
what
if
was he
that
just caught
happens to
doing?
Zion,
Hey, what was he just caught doing?
he's fishing. He's a
Thank you.
fisherman
And
now.
so listen, and so what was Zion caught doing? Mac, come on, man.
Bro, come on, bro. Look, if okay, I will concede to Zion being a bust maybe in like a few years. Like give him the
You
amount of
have
years
to
Ben
give.
Simmons played.
Hold on. Zion. No, all right, go ahead.
Give the amount of years that Ben Simmons played to Zion and see if Zion falls off a cliff like that. Then I would say like yeah, definitely a bust. I just think he can't stay healthy. He's in a market he doesn't want to be in. He might be just trying to. He's probably doing all this like missing games to get his way out.
Okay.
And so I just think he just went to a franchise he did not want to be a part of, and so I think that just has a really big part in it. And I mean, you know, injuries happen, but I just, like I said, give it maybe next year. I will concede to that he's a bust. But what is it? His fifth year, fourth year?
Mark, it is his seventh. And before we close, I got to get this off my
It's
chest.
his
This
seventh
is
year.
his seventh year, man. I'm sorry. It's a bust. I'm sorry. There's no way to defend that. You're saying give him as many years as Ben Simmons. You want to give him 10 years to be considered not a bust? I'm sorry. You're a bust after your first 4 years, right? And it's just like the fact that we're even having a debate about if Zion's a bust, potential over production, Mark. In the production, you can't lie to me and tell me
Okay,
the
okay. Is he a bust as far as an NBA player, or is he
yes,
a bust as far as his pick?
bust as far as both. I mean,
If you want to say his pick, I'll concede. You know what I mean? First overall pick, definitely a bust. But as far as just an NBA player, no, I don't think he's a bust. I
okay,
think
Mark,
he can be.
what has he
I
done
think
to
he can be
separate
a
himself?
solid number
What
two,
has he
solid number three.
what has he done to separate himself?
What has he done?
Yeah. To become
Like I
not a
said,
bust as an NBA player. Has he played a bunch of games? Has he made the playoffs?
no.
Thank you. So it's a bust.
But I'm one of those that takes into consideration you're in a market you don't want to be in. You haven't had talent surround you.
You're gonna eat all
Like,
the
what
food,
did New
sleep with
Orleans
all the
do?
women,
Okay,
sign all the money
okay.
contracts you want, and guess what? Get to
Okay,
just
we'll go
chill.
real quick. But what did New Orleans do for Zion? What did they surround him with?
Trey Murphy. They also got
Trey Murphy's now starting to come into his
no,
own.
he was coming in
Like,
his own last season as well. Zion's been
okay,
around.
last season. Okay, a year and a half. Trey Murphy.
Okay. Then they also Calderon or he's bro. Are you kidding me? Bro.
That's what you're gonna give him?
They just had
Is
Brandon
Jose
Ingram.
Calderon?
They just had Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball when he got drafted. Like, bro, let's not act like Zion was just stranded on an island. They had talent around him. Zion just wasn't showing up. Why, Mark? If you're telling me you walked into a gym and you saw Lonzo Ball before the injuries, right, and you saw Brandon Ingram, you weren't wanting to hoop with that team. You wouldn't want to hoop with them.
I mean, I'd be wanting to hoop, but I know we're not going anywhere.
Whoa! So you're telling me with Zion, Brandon Ingram, and Lonzo Ball, you're not gonna go anywhere. I just want to make sure.
You're acting like Brandon Ingram and
All right.
KD.
No, I need you to just say that out loud. Say
There's
it real
been a
quick.
reason he's been shipped.
Say it to everybody right now.
Zion Williams is a bust for his pick position. Is he a bust as far as an NBA player? Like Ben Simmons is a bust as far as an NBA player, and we saw how that played out as far as an NBA player. Is Zion Williams a bust for his pick position? I'll concede to that. 100%. He was the first overall pick. Is he a bust as far as like I'm able to play in the NBA? No, I don't think so. I just think he's in a market he doesn't want to be in, and he doesn't give a shit because he's in New Orleans. He doesn't want to be there.
Well, hey, they're gonna have to let us know down in the comments. We gotta wrap it up today. It's officially the end of episode number 4. Thank you guys so much.
Hey,
Hey,
need
with the
some more
deuce.
of
Oh man, peace.
no, good discussion.